Good day, everyone. Today we're going to discuss about divisibility rules. But first, what do you mean by divisible? So, when you say divisible, if a certain number is divisible to another number, that means to say their quotient is a whole number. Okay, for example, 5. We will test that if 5 is divisible by 2. So that means to say their quotient is a whole number. Let's test it. So 5 divided by 2. So 5 divided by 2, that is 2. 2 times 2, that is 4. And then you subtract 5 minus 4, that is 1. So if we're going to continue, we're going to place here decimal point and add 0 here. 10 divided by 2, that is 5. 5 times 2, that's 10. So 10 minus 10, that's 0. So we're done. So that means to say, since their quotient is 2.5, meaning 5 is not divisible by 2. That is the meaning of divisibility. Now, since our example here is about divisibility by 2, so we'll have here the rule in testing whether the number is divisible by 2. So it's very simple. All numbers that are even, or in short, all even numbers, they are divisible by 2. Okay? Example, 8. Of course, 8 is divisible by 2. 10, 102. These numbers are even numbers, so meaning they are divisible by 2. Now let's have divisible by 3. What is the rule in testing whether the number is divisible by 3? Very simple also. The sum of the digits is divisible by 3. Okay, example. Okay, if you are given with a whole number, I mean one-digit number, is very easy. 9 is of course divisible by 3. We're going to add 9 with 3. So you have here 93. Is this divisible by 3? Okay, let's try the rule. Okay, you add 9 and 3. 9 plus 3. 9 plus 3 is 12. Of course, 12 is divisible by 3. Since 12 divided by 3, that is 4. Meaning, their quotient is a whole number. Meaning, 93 is divisible by 3. Okay, very easy. Now, let's have divisible by 4. What is the rule for divisibility by 4? Okay, so here we just look at the last 2 digits. Okay, if the last 2 digits is divisible by 4, okay, the last two digits is divisible by 4. Okay. Okay, let's have example. Okay, you have 200. So the last 2 digit here is 2 zeros. Of course, 0 is divisible by 4. So So definitely 200 is divisible by 4. Okay, another example. You have here 324. Okay, here, the last 2 digit is 24. Of course, 24 is also divisible by 4. Since 24 divided by 4, that's 6, a whole number. So definitely 324 is also divisible by 4. How about divisible by 5? So to know if the number is divisible by 5, just look at the last digit. The last digit is either 0 or 5. That's it. So if the last digit is either 0 or 5, that means to say the number is divisible by 5. Okay, let's have example. 205. So this number ends with 5, meaning this number is definitely divisible by 5. Okay, let's have another example. 1000. So this number ends with 0, the last digit. So definitely this is divisible by 5. Another example. 106. This number ends with 6. So this is not 0, it is not 0 or 5. That means to say 106 is not divisible by 5. Okay? How about divisible by 6? Okay, so 6, as you observe, 6 is 2 times 3. So meaning, the number is divisible by 6 if it is divisible by both 2 and 3. Okay? 2 and 3. Okay, let's have example. 16. 16, that is an even number, meaning to say that is divisible by 2. How about 3? So, again, a number is divisible by 3 if the sum of the digits of the number is divisible by 3. So here, you add 1 plus 6, that is 7. And 7 is not divisible by 3, meaning to say 16 is not divisible by 3. So since 16 is only divisible by 2 but not divisible by 3, meaning 16 is not divisible by 6. That's it. Note. So, meaning to say, you must be sure that the number is both divisible by 2 and 3. Both, meaning the two numbers, the 2 and 3. So, meaning, if the number is divisible by both 2 and 3, that means to say that number is divisible by 6. Let's have divisibility by 10. So, this is very easy also, because you just look at the last digit, or the number, what ends of the number. So if the number ends with 0, so definitely that number is divisible by 10. Okay, let's have example. 700. So, it ends with 0. So, meaning, this is divisible by 10. How about 605? This ends with 5. This not ends with 0, meaning this is not divisible by 10. Okay, last. 1001. This also ends with 1. Of course, by the rule in divisibility by 10, if does not ends with 0, meaning that is not divisible by 10. Summarize. Let's have this divisibility rules by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 10. So for 2, of course, all even numbers divisible by 2. How about 3? If the sum of the digits is divisible by 3. Now, for 4, if the last 2 digit is divisible by 4. How about 5? If the number ends with 0 and 5. How about 6? If the number is both divisible by 2 and 3. For 10, if the number ends with 0, That's it. Now, as a summary, I'm going to give you an example for all the divisibility rules that I introduced to you. So now we're going to determine if the given number is divisible by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 10. Okay, let's have example. Okay, we're going to make a table first. Okay, we have her for 2, for 3, for 6, for 4, for 5, for 6, and for 10. Let us test if the given number is divisible by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 10. Let's have here number 1, 120. Okay. 120. So let's test if it is divisible by 2. So since 120 ends with 0, that means to say that this is an even number. Meaning, since that is an even number, meaning that it's divisible by 2. So, that is divisible by 2. So, check. How about 3? Okay, remember, to determine if the number is divisible by 3, you just add the digits. So, 1 plus 2 plus 0, that is 3. And 3 is divisible by 3. Meaning, 120 is divisible by 3. Now, let's proceed with 4. Okay, 4. 120, the last 2 digit for this is 20. That's 20. And 20 is divisible by 4. Meaning, 120 is divisible by 4. Now, last with 5. So, go back to our divisibility rules. if the number ends with 5 and 0, or the last digit is 5 and 0, meaning to say the number is divisible by 5. So since this number ends with 0, meaning this is divisible by 5. Now, 6. So 6, if the number is both divisible by 2 and 3, meaning the number is divisible by 6. So since 120 is divisible by 2 and 3, meaning 120 is also divisible by 6. Okay? How about 10? 10, the number is divisible by 10 if it ends with 0. Since 120 ends with 0, meaning 120 is divisible by 10. So therefore, 120 is divisible by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and